A brief history of Star Wars Lofi HipHop. Lo-fi, or low-fidelity music, has absolutely exploded in popularity on YouTube over the past few years, and as it gets more widespread, the genre keeps expanding into new territory. I had already been a casual listener of the typical lo-fi beats to relax and study to radio that everyone's familiar with. But then 2020 brought something new to the scene. One day I was just chilling, working on a project, when the all-powerful YouTube algorithm offered a new recommendation that caught my eye: Star Wars Lofi HipHop. Since discovering this incredible gem of music, I've listened through it countless times, and decided to take a deep dive. Let's start at the beginning. For most of human history, music could only be performed live. If you wanted to hear your favorite band, orchestra, or singer, you had to go see them in person. That is, until the late 1800s, when the phonograph was invented, based on a stylus moving through grooves at various depths, almost like an old record player. It could record music and play it back, the first technology that could do so, but only with low fidelity due to the mechanical limitations. This affected the frequency of sound that could be recorded and played back. They also had a poor signal-to-noise ratio, giving recorded music that distinctly distorted, grainy sound that we now think of as old-timey. But of course, technology has advanced since then. By the 1950s, we had moved past this problem and into high-fidelity music recordings, right up through the 21st century, where we now have virtually perfect recording and playback capabilities at the touch of a button, at all times. But modern lo-fi is using these techniques to get that old-timey feeling back. Meanwhile, hip-hop emerged in New York City in the 1970s as a form of artistic expression for primarily Black and Latino communities. By the 1980s, this hip-hop had become mainstream enough to start spinning off and mixing with other genres of music, such as jazz. This resulted in a new variation on the genre that focused on chill relaxation and simply vibing to the beat. These mostly overlooked developments in the music industry finally collided in the early 2000s to create a new genre for the new millennium. With the dawn of the internet, growing wealth disparities, 9/11, the start of the 24/7 news networks, and a global economy headed for the Great Recession, the world had entered a new age of endless information and constant anxiety in the early 2000s. Then, what started as a unique gimmick for radio, advertising, and TV quickly found its way onto YouTube, and found its audience. The primary consumers of modern lo-fi hip-hop are those most affected by the anxieties of the 21st century: millennials, zillennials, and Gen Z. This broad coalition of younger people has already lived through the greatest technological revolution in human history, as well as numerous global catastrophes brought on by economic collapse, terrorism, social unrest, political turmoil, climate change, and the coronavirus pandemic, among other major history-making events. And these constant shocks to the system are now delivered instantaneously to our phones. Every time something goes wrong anywhere in the world, every time our boss wants to talk with us, every time anything happens, no matter where we are, no matter what has happened, the information can reach us instantly. That's a recipe for some serious stress and anxiety with no real solution. The problems are too big for any one person to solve. So, people turn to joining organizations, or just doing what they can. But what else is there to do in the meantime? How can young people, especially Zillennials and Gen Zers just entering adulthood, keep themselves calm through all the chaos? One answer, apparently, comes from lo-fi hip-hop. Lo-fi has that warm, fuzzy, old-timey feeling to it that makes the listener feel safe. It's also very soothing, repeating with simple hip-hop beats that engage your mind but don't strain it too much. Lo-fi hip-hop is also typically played for hours on end in a loop, which helps it relax your mind by allowing your brain to predict the upcoming patterns, giving you a subconscious sensation of being in control as you fully understand your environment for once. The hip-hop beats also carry that genre's famous powerful feeling to it that started in the Bronx, but its edges are softened by the low-fidelity filter. All these factors combine to create an instantly powerful, peaceful, nostalgic feeling for any listener, highly effective on the stress-filled 20-somethings of the 21st century. But where does Star Wars come into all of this? Lo-fi hip-hop on YouTube became most famous through the constant live stream of lo-fi beats to relax and study to made by Chilled Cow. It's since branched out into various niches such as Avatar and The Simpsons, and also various specific emotional states. But the reach of the music has only expanded with the crisis of 2020's coronavirus pandemic, to the point where even Will Smith got in on the action, creating his own video of chill lo-fi for quarantine. Quarantine has of course forced millions of people to stay at home all year, in an undeniably anxiety-inducing situation. But hey, what better time to kick back, relax, and chill out with some stress-reducing lo-fi beats to get you through the year? And what better way to make lo-fi extra nostalgic, safe, and warm feeling than to combine it with the biggest cultural phenomenon of the past 50 years? Enter Star Wars Lofi HipHop, created by Amimos Ambiance from a curated track list of songs by Closed on Sunday. Combine all of this with the stunning animation by Prophet Art of Ahsoka Tano studying on Coruscant, and it creates the perfect atmosphere for taking a break from the world. To have a truly magical experience beyond description, and meditate in peace with the Jedi from a galaxy far, far away. All videos and music I've referenced here are linked in the description, so give them a try and leave a comment letting me know what you think. Also, for more specific info on Star Wars Lo-Fi, be sure to check out my exclusive interview with Stephen Aram, creator of Closed on Sunday and remixer of the Star Wars Lo-Fi hip-hop tracks. And as always, think critically, be creative, and have a great day.